Huh? I can't see anything. Why is it dark in here? A flashlight. Okay. You guys can see me now? Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened the last time I was here. I was trying to talk about the newest video game, and then some crazy guy came into my room. I heard a siren, and now, well, it's dark in here. I don't know why. The lights aren't working. Okay, what's that noise? What are those noises? Oh. I get it now. All we're missing is the fog. We already had the creepy noises, the darkness, the sirens. Welcome, my friends, to Silent Hill. This is actually rather suiting. How ironic. The very game I'm going to review, and it's actually happening to me. Well, let me grab my controller. And let's start the review.
Silent Hill is a survival horror game created by Konami. It was released on the original PlayStation, and this series is actually quite well known, second only to the Resident Evil series in popularity.
However, whereas Resident Evil and many other types of survival horrors take their scares from usually the jump scare variety, have things leap at you or just jump out and scare you, Silent Hill inflicts its fear mainly with an atmospheric setting. It's also one of those types of games that no matter how many times you play it, it can still scare you.
The isolation, the darkness, the disturbing noises and imagery, the unknown, the inhuman monsters. All of these play roles in creating the fear that Silent Hill's atmosphere generates.
For the time that it was released back in 1998, the graphics in there are amazing, considering that this is on the Sony PlayStation and most other games never really reached that level. Sure, compared with games nowadays, it doesn't look that impressive. But keep this in mind.
At the time, most games on the Sony PlayStation utilized 3D character models placed against a pre-rendered 2D background, as seen here in Resident Evil. Silent Hill, on the other hand, its entire world is rendered in 3D, pushing the system to its limits.
In the story, you assume the role of a man named Harry Mason. He is searching for his daughter who got separated from him when they entered the town of Silent Hill. Upon his investigation, it becomes apparent that there's something more to the town than was first let on, and also something more to his daughter, or what she really is. In most survival horrors, you're given a lot of weapons and you can easily fend off the monsters. In Silent Hill, weapons and ammo are somewhat scarce, and you need to rely on your wits to get past most of the threats. In addition to the mediocre weapons that you get, that you can find, you're also warned about monsters when every time you hear your radio emit static. One of the stranger things in this game is that the fact that most of the doors don't even open. It becomes very linear. Pathways are usually barred if you're not supposed to go that way. And you go inside buildings, but if there are there are rooms you're not supposed to go into, the doors are just jammed. The game just says the doors are just jammed. I don't think that happens in real life. Think about that. You try to go out, you go to a public place or whatever, you want to go through check any of the rooms, and you try the door, and all the doors are jammed except for one. Does that make sense?
Nothing is to be gained from floundering about at random. You must follow the path.
Overall, this is a really good game. This is also one of the first survival horrors I played for the Sony PlayStation. The only other ones I played before that were the Resident Evil series. Even though it's old and it's very hard to find now, I encourage you to look for it and actually get yourself a copy. What attracts me even more is depending on how you play through the game can affect the ending that you get. In the original Silent Hill, there's at least 5 different endings. Like the good, the bad, the good plus, and the bad plus, and then the UFO ending. In closing, this is a gem I suggest you try and look for. That's better. Hey, I can see somewhat in here. Well, anyway, like I was saying, this game is something you really should look into. It is a must play for any survival horror fan. And even if you beat it multiple times, it still imparts the same amount of fear that it did the very first time you put it into your system. Now that that uncomfortable business is over, this is Super Strider, signing off.
It would appear that Walter Sullivan was unable to contain him. No matter. He exceeded my expectations. This Super Strider is one not to be trifled. Eventually, he'll run out of good games to review. And once that happens, it'll be our time to strike. told you to be quiet!
Oh, hush up, you tatless derivative! But you can comprehend what I have created. Minor adjustments made. Eureka! Now I, Super Sano, have created the most powerful weapon to use against grass! My mortal enemy! With the power of science! I shall annihilate all grass off the face of the earth!
Goggle word, freak.
Eileen gave this to me when she found out I was not with my mother anymore. Line.